Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Ravager podcast. I am your host, Dorian, and with me, as always, the mighty Hammer. Hebrew, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself, buddy?
I'm doing great, thanks. Want to say thank you to everybody for listening and apologize. We are not doing this show live. We had some scheduling conflicts because of some work issues that I've had this week. So we are recording this as a just me and Hebrew. So there's no live. I do apologize. Normally now is where I would mention our new patrons for the week, but unfortunately we don't have any. We do appreciate, though, our current patrons who stay with us. And thank you guys for everything that you do. Without you, we would not be able to do this. So if you do like what you hear and you would like to become a patron, please feel free to join us. You can go to patreon.com/Ravager Report. And we have subscriptions ranging from $2 all the way up to $20. Still hashing out a few things. Life has just been crazy busy. Hebrew, how are you doing, man? What have you been up to this past week?
I've been pretty good. As far as outside of the game stuff is concerned, doing pretty decent. Same old for the most part. I got my girlfriend coming to town on the 2nd, so I'm pretty excited about that. And we're going to be spending a lot of time together. We have to go to a couple of weddings. And so just a bunch of stuff. And trying to think if there's anything else that's big. No, that's about it. But for in-game stuff, I'll go ahead and get started on that because there's a bit there. Interesting thing happened to me. I got flagged, I guess, for Dark Dimension, which was not fun and still isn't fun because I haven't resolved it yet. But I'm not getting the anomaly detected issue that we've seen before, where after you beat it, the anomaly detected sign comes up and it screws you up and it restarts everything. I haven't had that issue. I've basically been in a situation where I will, about halfway through the second node, whenever I bring in a group, whenever I finish up and they die, so I haven't finished it yet, but whenever they die, I come back in and everyone else is back to what they were before I started. But my characters are dead. I don't get a notification whenever I finished up or anything, but yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with that. So I messaged support, and this has been happening for 3 days. It took me a little bit to realize it too, because like for the first 2 days I was like, is this happening? No, I must be crazy. Like I'm not sure what's going on. But yeah, I realized that it was true, and I messaged support and I told them what was going on. And then they want me to make a video of it and upload it into YouTube and go out of my way basically to prove to them that I'm not cheating, I guess, which is ridiculous to me because it's like the second node. It's been like a week now since it was released, more even, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm not even done with the second node. I'm like, guys, I'm not cheating. I'm not the problem here. There are tons of people at 100% right now. How am I cheating?
Right.
So, I think that's ridiculous. Granted, I would probably be at, maybe a little bit into 3, if not halfway through 3. But yeah, so it's really slowed down my progress. And they gave me 100 health pack to make the video, which didn't make any sense to me because my characters were dead, and I can revive 2 of those characters now. So, yeah.
That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it's just bad luck.
I probably shouldn't have reported you, should I? I'm sorry.
I mean, but yeah.
Well, there's our explicit tag for the week.
There
Thanks.
It is. But yeah. So that's been like the biggest issue in the game with me. Other than that, it's been pretty good. Still haven't got what you would think with all of this gold. I mean, still not enough gold, granted, we'll get into that, but you'd think that with all the gold that we have been getting from pretty consistently from the Venom raid, that I would have gotten 1 million by now. Still have not gotten 1 million. I don't know what's wrong with this game. I'm flagged for something. I have terrible luck in this game for the most part. So yeah, I'm not sure what the issue is there, but I've just pretty much given up on ever getting 1 million. And even whenever I do get it at this point, I think I won't even be able to enjoy it because I'll just be so cynical about it. It's about gosh darn time that this happened.
Right.
Like, yeah. So I don't think I would ever enjoy it. So I'm hoping that maybe all this terrible luck that's been happening to me in the game is saving up, and maybe I can apply it, this kind of general I'm due for something big, and apply it to the lotto that's coming on Tuesday. That's at a historic high. I'm buying for the first time. I'm actually going to participate in the lotto, and if I win a whole bunch of money, then I'm going to go and buy a bunch of gold orbs, and I'm just going to keep rolling until I get 1 million. I swear.
That sounds like such a horrible waste of money.
I mean, it's not.
Now, I mean, obviously, I doubt you have to spend a whole lot of your winnings if you were to win. But
yeah, about to say, like, I mean, even if I throw down like $2,000, that's still pocket change from the winnings that I would. Because I think it's at like 1.6 million. No,
billion.
Yeah, that's right. 1.6.
Yeah, So it's funny. My wife and I were actually talking about that today. We decided may buy a private island if we play the lotto and hit it.
Oh yeah, I mean that would be on the list of things. Yeah, but yeah, no, that's. I'm hoping that all of this luck is basically going to be thrown at that, and then I can force my way into getting 1 million. Either that, or I will legitimately buy the devs off and say, "What will it take for me to get 1 million?"
That's not ethical, man. But okay.
We've seen there's a line for them, and it can be pushed. I think we've all seen that so far. So
yes, I think we have. Well, I wish you the best of luck. I don't know if I'm going to do that. Maybe we'll see.
What about you? What have you been up to this week?
Well, so obviously I've been really busy with work. So I had my vacation last week. So it's always fun when you take a full week off and you come back, and then your boss is going to be taking time off. So I'm covering, we call it a bullet train process, but our deployment process. So walking, we've got 11 or 12 different teams on our product. So, I think there's 3 or 4 of us on the train this week. So, making sure everybody gets all their stuff merged up, walking through all the checklists and deploying all the code and fixing any errors and working with QA. And it's, like I said, it's a 2-week process before we even release it out into the wild. And so Friday afternoon around 3:30, I discovered an error in our test environment, which required me to work until 7, 8, 9 o'clock that night. And I'm like, no way we're going to do the show. So a lot of work this week. Although we did, my wife and I, before Friday, binge watched Castle Rock on Hulu. If you have Hulu and you like Stephen King, I highly recommend Castle Rock.
Really, it's good.
It's really, really good. And there's a lot of Easter eggs in there to find. It's amazing. So I won't spoil anything for anybody, but it is so good.
What about Daredevil too? You just said
so I did. I started Daredevil today because my QA contact. Because I thought I was going to work today, and my QA contacted and was like, "No, we're going to wait till Monday to fix all this stuff." And I'm like, "Bonus! I got my weekend back." So I started Daredevil today, and I'm up through episode 4 or 5. I can't remember exactly. It's really good. It's really, really, really good. And so I had to be talked off the ledge a little bit today, obviously. For those of you that are not aware, Sweet Christmas, Luke Cage is canceled.
Finally.
Kind of a come on. No, in all honesty, though, that one was. Part of me is hoping that they take Luke Cage and Iron Fist and create
Team Up
Power
series.
Incorporated. Yeah, they create the Power Incorporated, or even if they want to cancel Jessica Jones and Daredevil and just do all of them together in the Defenders, I think I'd be okay with that too.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that they were already there, that they already agreed on doing Defenders too.
Yeah, well, right, but canceling Iron Fist and canceling Luke Cage, I haven't researched like the contract situation with the actors or anything. They may be contracted out to do X amount more. We'll have to see.
Yeah, it's just interesting that they would cancel them before, or at least release the news of them canceling it before Defenders came out. Well, that kind of puts a little damper on it.
A little bit, but
I think they would want as much hype as possible.
maybe we'll see. Netflix does things a little, so they're a little weird on things that they do. I'm not sure, what's driving this or not. I know that they had some financial concerns back midsummer, and then they saw a sharp drop off. I want to say in the fall or like late summer. So I don't know if that's leading to them making these decisions or if there's something else going on. I don't know enough about it.
Right.
Sadly, Luke Cage is moving on to greener pastures and will not be coming back to Netflix. But we don't know what the future holds, so hopefully it's fine.
That being said, though, Luke Cage, I actually I really enjoyed season 1 of Luke Cage a lot. Season 2 of Luke Cage, I actually didn't mind. You and I spoke about this earlier. I actually didn't mind Bushmaster, but I didn't like the season in general nearly as much as I did the first.
Right.
And then for Iron Fist, I've never liked any of them, so I'm not upset with Iron Fist at all.
So Iron Fist was always going to be tough because they tried to stay true to the comics and they got a lot of backlash off of it. Because people wanted an Asian actor for Iron Fist. I'm like, but Danny Rand's not. I mean, he's a blonde-haired kid from New York. I mean, I don't have a problem with them doing that. Super thrilled with the actor. I don't know. Iron Fist was always going to be a tough guy to do properly because he's kind of this pacifist with this ability, right? And so it's really hard to kind of build around that.
Yeah, for me, I hated the actor. I thought he was terrible. I could never believe anything he said. And I think that all the fighting was meh. Like, it looked pretty choreographed, like you could tell, in my opinion. Granted, I've watched a lot of like kung fu movies and things like that over time. Right. So
and,
maybe my standards are a little higher.
Those. Right.
Yeah. So I mean that could be the case, but the Drunken Master series from Jackie Chan, everything like that. That was
some of my favorite.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ip Man series is amazing.
Ip is awesome. Yes. Donnie Chen, absolutely.
Yep. So in comparison to stuff like that, it just nothing about it was believable, and I think that was just accentuated even more so by the fact that I just hated the person they casted as him. So that's fine. I mean, so I'm not as hypercritical of things like that. If it keeps me entertained, then I feel that it did what it was supposed to do. Right, so I have a very low bar when it comes to entertainment, I guess. Yes, you do.
Now there are some things I have. Well, that's because we disagree on a few things, but Star Wars. Yes, we do disagree about Star Wars.
The Last Jedi,
which is fine. Look, watch it 5 or 6 times. It's great.
No,
I'm telling you, watch it multiple times, and you start to see things that you didn't realize.
You are dead wrong. The movie
the worst thing about The Last Jedi was quite simply the fact that Poe wasn't shot. Poe should have been shot for treason and done.
The worst thing about The Last Jedi was that it completely invalidated the consistency of every other Star Wars movie. Right, that was the problem with it.
I don't know if it validated consistency.
As a standalone movie, it was. It was okay, but.
Look, they broke timing. I don't know what you mean by like timing consistency.
No, I mean as far as the foundation that they built with the Force and how it works and how quickly people can gain abilities and things like that. I mean, they just killed off the only bad guy that was superior to Rey at this point. Rey's been practicing for a week now, and she's as strong as the guy that's been practicing all of his life. So it stands to reason, like I mentioned to you the other day, that she's going to be ripping planets from the sky in like another month.
Yeah, but the thing you're leaving out of that though is that Kylo is letting his emotions control him, so that he's making decisions and doing things from a passionate perspective, and so he's not utilizing his abilities to their fullest potential. He's got the raw power and he's doing things with raw power, but he's not utilizing his knowledge and his experience, because
But that still wouldn't.
He's
make
still
up
supposed to be kind of a kid, so
yeah. But he's more. I mean, he's literally had years and years and years of experience on her. We're gonna have to stop talking about this, but
we are gonna have to stop
she's
talking
had
about
years
this.
and years of experience on her, so I don't think that translated slightest. But yeah, all right.
So that's been my week. In game, I am still working on the defenders. They are basically my sole focus. I got Punisher to 5-star today. He's 1 gear piece away from tier 11. I got Daredevil to 6. And I kind of went all in. I didn't go all in because I've seen predictions it's going to be over 2 million, but I'm sitting at like 1.3 million at the Blitz. I think I'm just kind of done. I just can't bring myself to keep doing it every couple hours.
Yeah.
But even then, he's on his way to 7-star, and he's my daily arena. And I'm hoping people go, man, he's an easy farm. So maybe the predictions will be off. So we'll see. And then and we're going to talk about it in the news, but we had Rocket released into the Raid Orb, the Raid store yesterday. And I spent my 40,000 Raid currency on orbs, and I think I wound up with like 54 rocket shards. Well, that's kind of been our weeks. Sorry for the segues and getting a little derailed. You get Hebrew and I together, that's gonna happen. So, Hebrew, is there anything else you want to this week?
No, that pretty much does it for. Oh, one thing I did want to mention. It's not so much about what we did on the week, but I started to put in. I started this last week, and I'm going to keep doing it. I'm putting in the timestamps for whenever we're starting new segments. That way, people can just. I'm putting it into the description of the episode. That way, people could just look, see if they want to skip particular parts or things that they're only interested in, and they can go right to it. So. I'm doing that from now on. So if you listen to this and we're like, why did I listen to that? Guess what? In the future, you don't have to. So you can skip to whatever you want.
Yeah, and it's a very nice bonus. I know that's something that people have been asking for. So, all right. So now we're going to move on to our data mine, and we do have quite a bit. There's some event changes, talking primarily looks like about the new tiers for the events, like stage 10, stage 11. So the ability mats, stage 10 and stage 11 is
these are for the challenges, right?
Yeah, these are for the challenges.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I said events. I apologize. I'm a challenge. And on these, so it looks like we're getting the stage 10 and stage 11, so they are recommending like level 7, tier 12 plus for the stage 10, and then level 70 and gear 13 for stage 11 on all these.
Yeah. So we're seeing a lot of that stuff. It's staying the same on everything for what's required. So that's good. And the biggest thing here is that we're just getting 2 new challenges. It looks like 2 new tier levels of challenges. Yeah. So that's what's important there. I want them to come. The only one that I haven't cleared yet still is the catalyst, because I just don't have my blasters high enough.
Yeah, that catalyst. My blasters are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And I struggle so hard with that catalyst challenge.
So did you complete it or no?
I've completed it a few times.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean 3-starred it.
I have not. No. I have not 3-starred it.
Okay, same. Yeah.
I've completed it a few times, but have not 3-starred it. Yeah.
Yeah. The problem is that so my blasters, just from the way it was, where they were already high. So if I try to level up, they were just the easiest ones to do it. It was Punisher, Thor, what's his name, Cable, and Hand Archer, and then Korath. So for me, it's not a great team because I don't have my Rocket up, and I don't have my Winter Soldier up.
Yeah.
So if I had those 2, especially instead of Hand Archer, I think it would be better. But right now, those guys are sitting at the Punisher's at 27k, but the rest are all around the 20k area. So I just don't have enough firepower to clear it off.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That does kind of. I was saying that nice to the Punisher 27k because mine's only like 24 right. My blaster team though is Iron Man, Punisher, Rocket, Thor, and Cable.
Mm-hmm.
And then Iron Man is at the top of that at almost 25k, and Cable's at the bottom at like 16.5.
Right.
So they're and Wasp is close. She's like at 15k.
Mm-hmm.
So right there on the cusp of everything.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get to this, but it's just there's so many people that I want to upgrade, but I do not have the resources to do so.
No, resources are killing us. So
yep. But all right, well, so anyways, those are the challenges. So
yep.
not too much there, except for the fact that they're coming, and we have the gear tier requirements and the level requirements, and they're going to be difficult, mostly for the blaster one, of course. So
yeah. Let's see. It looks like a new Marvel Strike Force update's coming soon, including 3 new playable characters, new event campaign and raid, improved cheat detection, new mutant achievement, save squads, and more. Get ready for these and other big changes soon. So that's going to be nice. Hopefully that's coming in the next couple of weeks, especially with the save squads, man. And I hope they do it in more game modes than just Blitz. I hope it's like game wide, because when I'm running through Arena or Dimension or whatever, I want to be able to go and get specific squads quickly.
Yeah, I think that at a certain point, though, it different. Well, I suppose if you can customize it per game type, then it would be better, because there's some game types that like for instance, Arena and Blitz versus any kind of raid mode or Dark Dimension or anything like that. My team comps are going to be wildly different. So if I could arrange them per mode, that would be very nice.
Yeah,
but,
so
it was definitely has been more geared towards Blitz for obvious reasons. So.
Right, yeah. So Galaxy of Heroes, Star Wars allows you to save squads, right? They have a squad builder.
Right.
And I like what they do, because they have basically it's a tab system. So you create a tab for what you want, and you can just go right to that tab. So I got tabs for like, Territory War offense, Heroic Sith raid, Territory War defense, light side territory battles, dark side territory battles. And I can build specific squads, and I can title the tabs. So you've got one everything, but it allows you to kind of customize it to the way you want it. So I like that. I would prefer that versus it only being enabled in certain.
You wouldn't like that, because that would be even more specific to what you want. Like, it gets rid of the ones that you're not going to use for this mode.
So
it just keeps it nice and clean.
But it's up to them to decide if they're going to put it in for that mode, right? Now, if they're going to put it in for every mode, great, fine. And you only see the squads for that specific mode, maybe. Okay. I mean, I get the same effect. I get the same. I get this.
Blitz people in your raid folder.
But I have a raid folder. I don't see Blitz people.
But no, they're
in the Blitz folder.
Right, but I mean, like, all right, so in your tabs, right, whenever you go to raid, you're going to see Blitz offense in one of your as one of your tabs as well. It's like, I don't need that in here.
You might be surprised sometimes. You might be surprised. You might have built a team comp in Blitz that you're going to have to recreate now in raid.
Maybe, but I don't. There's probably far fewer comps that would translate as easily. Maybe like things like the Defenders and Shield and Fury, I guess. But that's my arena team. I use it in raids. I use it in Blitz. I use it I will use it in Dark Dimension when I have everybody there. But with just maybe one minor change from arena to Blitz and raids. I take out Vision and I put in Groot. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it would just be easier if they just kept it. And I suppose we're arguing semantics, but yeah, I mean, for me, I would just, for aesthetically, it would be nicer for me if it was just clean cut. I have my teams for this, and then I have my teams for this, and then I have my teams for this, and then you separate it for me whenever I go into those modes.
Yeah, I mean, one thing other than the horrible color we got assaulted with, their UI has been pretty solid.
Are you talking about with
what was it, the orange?
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. Oh, that was horrible.
Terrible.
Oh, that was so bad. But the UI design itself is fine. So I trust that they're going to do something, and we'll see. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would be upset if they went one way versus the other. I was just saying I like how Star Wars does it. I wouldn't be upset if they brought that in here.
Right.
So, now for the fun one, and this might be them trolling the data miners. Free Ronin shards or Black Widow shards on Halloween. It's up to you to decide. Visit Marvel Strike Force on Facebook and vote Trick for Ronin or vote Treat for Black Widow. The community's fate is in your hands, so vote wisely. Promise you we're getting Ronin.
Yes, I mean, I actually really like this because it's fun. And
it is kind of fun.
I hope that they do this because, I mean, let's be honest, Ronin has been the biggest joke in this game since launch. And so it makes sense. He's the trick. And then, we contrast it to the person that we want the most in this game that is so unfarmable it's ridiculous, which is Black Widow.
Right.
She's the treat. And I love that it's up to the community to decide if we want to basically troll ourselves for a joke or not. So I actually love this. And these are the kinds of things that really make me enjoy games. Like, I don't care if I'm getting trolled if it makes it very enjoyable. Like, I think that's hilarious. Like, and especially since this sounds like it's very similar to what we're going to see with the first person to clear the Fear of the Darkness mode in Dark Dimension, where they get to pick 100 shards or whatever we're going to get. Like, I can guarantee that's going to be very much a, it's left up to him, and there's a very high chance that he is going to troll us with whatever it is, because whoever wins is going to be a whale. And they won't need anyone in particular. So it's going to be left up to them if they want to be nice to us or if they want to allow us to get some Ronin shards or aim monstrosity or something like that. And I would be fine with either, just because if I get something great, then good. And if I get something bad, you know what? That's a hilarious story that I can't wait to tell.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I like the fact that they're involving the community in some of these things. Involving the players and stuff. So let's hope that continues. We've got the big holiday seasons coming up, so let's see if they continue something along these lines or what. I'm also kind of curious to see how many we're going to get, because there's only like 5 or 10 shards. Nah. Okay, cool. Hey, nice little joke or whatever, right? So I don't know. I coming from like Star Wars, right? There was a running joke for a long time where you got 3 Clone Wars Chewbacca shards for like everything. 3
really?
shards. Yeah. So I'm a little burnt out on the joke shards thing, but that's only because of Star Wars. So
right. I haven't experienced that yet. So.
Yeah, give it time, man. So it looks like that was it for the Datamine itself. Now we do have some information that we got from another content creator who posted on his channel that Pyro will be the next campaign event and will require blasters and support to complete. And that Pyro's basic attack will splash to adjacent enemies and clear enemy buffs. His special or alt will damage everyone, basically giving 2 for turn maybe on everyone. Juggernaut's going to be immune to stun. His campaign will require Mystic. He'll be the last one to come before Magneto. We'll get Sabretooth, whose passive will be similar to Wolverine's. Let's see. Magneto's ult will do AoE damage, blind everyone, which, okay, they got Metal Shard. Fine. After damage remaining, everyone adjacent to everyone. What? I'm not sure what that means there. But
basically, it groups them all together and it puts everyone adjacent to each other. So if you have moves that deal to adjacent targets, you're going to be hitting everyone.
Okay.
That's going to be a big thing in there. in their comp, where Magneto groups them all together and then they just unload on everyone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. And it sounds like the Brotherhood is not going to be better than Fury Shield for what Fury Shield is good for. So they're not going to be interchangeable, but in a 5v5, Fury's losing his other eye and entire team. That's a direct quote from the content creator Casino, who is the source of this information.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited about this Brotherhood. I can't wait to dig into them. I'm upset that, and this is more just from a mechanic standpoint, I have no idea who would be a healer in this situation, but I want another raid group with a healer other than Fury and something with Night Nurse, basically.
Wait. Iron Fist.
Oh, very true. Very true. Yeah. The healer, that's
in
somehow a healer.
In a way, Luke Cage, because he does give them all regen.
Yeah, not enough to really count as a healer, though. With that long of a cooldown.
Right, he's not a healer, but he gets a lot of energy from JJ. I mean, I don't typically have a problem with it, but
even then, you're not getting it that often, and it's only regen. Like it's not too special. I mean, on other people, not necessarily himself, but
right, because he gets like 3 on himself.
He gets 3 on himself.
Yeah.
But I think that I don't know. I wanted some kind of villain healer because we're really lacking in the villain healer, and we got Hand Sorceress. That's about the best we have, and now she's very underwhelming in comparison. So I was hoping for some kind of healer. I don't know if there's a Brotherhood healer, because it's like I mentioned, it isn't really comic book based. That I'm saying I'm upset that there's not a healer, because I don't know if there's anyone that fits the bill for that. But I want a villain healer. That's basically what I'm trying to say. And I want to be able to run through raids and nodes that are specific to villains with villain healer. So yeah, I was kind of upset to hear that, because I wanted them to be a good all-around team, kind of like Fury. But that's not the case. But at least I get to beat up Fury. That's all I care about. And I'm sure Irish will be very thankful for that. I'm probably going to send him a video of me just raffle stomping a Fury team. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped about that. What do you think about their kid and how they're going to be able to beat Fury but not be able to survive like them in raids and things like that, Dark Dimension and stuff?
You know what? I'm okay with that. So, and that's you and I, because we had an extremely lengthy pre-show today.
Yeah.
As you and I talked, I'm fine with that, because I have such a focus on defenders, and the defenders do well in raids and in blitz, and I've been told that they'll do well in the Dark Dimension. I've just got to get them up to that 6-star. I've only got 2 higher than 6-star right now. But so I'm not upset by that. Call him a poor man's, whatever you want. That's fine.
That's exactly what I call him, actually.
But that they're free to play Fury. I mean, and you could farm them now. You don't have to wait for an event to come back. And it's only 1 team. It's not 2.
I would 100% agree with you. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not meaning to go off the rails. I think that the people that have Fury, congratulations. Glad you guys are able to walk through every game mode and it's easy. I mean, it's just it's not how I want to play games, man. I don't want Fury's an I win button. I'm happy to see that the Brotherhood's going to come and have some arena dominance, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In some raids like Ultimate 5, you don't really care if they walk through 5 nodes. Maybe you just want them to hit 1 or 2 nodes. I do that with a bunch of teams in Ultimate. So, I'm excited to see him. My mutants should be ready. We'll see what happens with what's her name, Mystique. How easy it's going to be to get her to where we need her to be for Magneto.
I have a feeling that she is coming as a Blitz character, and I think that she's going to be the next jackpot character that we're going to see too.
If they continue doing that, Hopefully they do.
I have heard rumors that there is another jackpot champion coming soon.
Okay.
Let me just put it to you like that.
I would hope
Take
it's
it
her.
as you will, and I
Right.
just hope that I hope that it's her, and I hope that it happens, and I hope that it's her. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Yeah, I agree with you. And let's hope that it's worthwhile, because trying to get through 5 stars from a blitz is gonna be painful.
Absolutely. I'm 100%. I agree with you, especially since it's coming. I think right now it's being estimated that it's probably coming before the end of the year, right before the end of the year. So we'll have to see about that. But yeah, either way, not enough time where if you have to farm her straight from a node, not enough time. Luckily, I did
with everything
down,
else you got to do.
Yeah, I did throw down on one pack for Mystique though. And so I have unlocked her. And I haven't put anything into her yet though, because I have everywhere else to focus still. But yeah, so I do have her, and God, her model, just every single time I look at it, her model's just so good.
I'm looking at it right now. Their models are fantastic.
Yeah, but I got her into she is 11 shards into the 3rd star, so she has 2 stars, she's working her way into 3, she has 11 shards towards it right now, 11 out of 55.
Nice.
So. Yep, I had terrible drops on it, so
I'm sitting at 0.45.
There you go. I don't know. Either way, she's coming soon, so just be ready for that. She's coming. So yeah, that does that. Did you already go through the pyro?
Yeah, that his basic will splash to adjacent enemies, and it's going to require blasters and support.
Yeah, so that's going to have a good amount to do with that whole Magneto interaction of pulling everyone together. So apparently they're all about burst is the situation with them. So that's why they're able to take down Fury so quickly and efficiently, is because they get him right at the beginning and they get him quick, and they're not meant for sustained fights. Apparently they're meant to just go in, hit everything and destroy it and get out.
Right. So I actually have concerns with Pyro and Mystique working together, because I don't think they will very well.
Why do you say that?
Well, because, and we'll get in, we are going to get into Mystique's kit later in the show. Mm-hmm. So it says here that his basic attack will splash and clear enemy buffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mystique's all about stealing buffs, though.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on, I suppose, what his speed is. I assume they probably have thought about that, because, that works with her, and I believe she gets an extra bonus from her.
Oh, hopefully they thought about that, Storm.
But yeah,
who knows?
I hope that they thought about that, and I hope that they make sure that is taken into account. But either way, it works somehow. So, even if that is an issue, apparently it's not a big enough issue to stop them from destroying everything. So that's what matters at the end of the day, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, then. Is there anything else that you'd like to talk about with the Datamine before we move on?
I think that pretty much does it. I'm just super hyped about it. But yeah, that pretty much does it for the Datamine. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to the news of the week. So, again, we didn't have a very big news week, so that's good and bad. It makes it a little bit easier for us, but at the same time, there's not a whole lot to talk about. So it makes for a lighter show. But one of the things that they talked about this week, we did not get a standard dev blog. Instead, we got a blog post that was an update regarding cheaters, and I've put the link to that in the show notes that's available on Patreon. And that will be available to everybody when the show. It's not a patron only. It's easier for me to link them there. So I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to try to hit some high points here. Let's see. They want to dedicate the time to talk about the use of third-party exploits and hacks. They take the cheating very seriously. They're doing a 3-step process of detect, flag, verify. So what their system detects and flags players who we believe are using exploits or hacks to gain an unfair advantage in the game, like Hebrew. They then manually verify the flagged data and proceed with a ban once verified. Cautious right now to not ban an account until we verify the flag. Verifying doesn't take a long time, but it does add a step that we feel is important. They have banned many accounts over the last week and will continue to do so in the future. We take the ban seriously. Want to make sure that a permanent ban didn't go on someone who isn't cheating, and if someone is flagged and verified, they will be banned, no exceptions. And they went a little bit more detail on Reddit. This to me kind of reads almost an exact word for word what they posted on Reddit.
Yep, in response to the MPO.
Yeah, to the response to the MPO. But in there, they did go a little bit more where they talk specifically about some things like they don't care if you're a spender or a free-to-play player. It doesn't matter to them either way. They will ban you.
Yeah, there was a rumor. Yeah, there was a rumor swirling about that was a situation where that they weren't banning whales, and that was obviously they just denied it. But from everything I've heard about that, kind of content creator underbelly, that was false rumors. That's not true. So that was just a rumor that was started, and during the height of the cheater craze that was going on. So
right, and it's entirely possible that the reason why that rumor started was that a lot of the people at the top were spenders, whales, dolphins, whatever you want to call them. But there was they addressed it a little bit later in the update, but there was a bug where people weren't coming off the leaderboard properly.
Yeah.
So it's very possible that rumor got started because they were still showing on the leaderboard.
Right. No, that could very well be where it came from. But yeah, either way, was not true. They weren't doing that. They don't give special treatment to the whales or anything like that whenever it comes to this kind of stuff.
Yep. Let's see. The future. We can't go into too much detail on the specifics of how we will be hardening the game to make it more resistant to combat cheats and exploits. But we do want to reiterate the importance of maintaining the sanctity of the game and call out that we are actively working on combat detection and prevention systems in subsequent updates. Hacks, mods, and exploits have no place in our game. They ruin the experience for players, and we're committed to doing everything we can to stomp that out. What do you think of that? I mean, do you trust them to build something to harden the game?
I look at it like this. They've had a lot of really bad mistakes that they've made before in the past, right? But it seems like for the most part, every time that they've really stumbled on something, they've picked it back up and then they started to really fix it. So if they continue that trend, at least, from what I've seen, I think that they will hopefully see how big of a problem this was and really put in some work on how to fix these things. Because it seemed like it was just kind of lazy programming that was left over from the beta. And, we all know how much of a time crunch they were in to,
right.
Get everything released on time with Infinity War coming out and getting that event out and everything. So I think more than anything else, it was just lazy and they didn't really realize it was a problem. Now that they do know it's a problem, even from what you mentioned the other week, there are relatively easy fixes that they can implement to stop these kinds of things. And I'm being designers of a very successful game and more before it, I'm sure they're very aware of those as well. And I think that they'll probably be implementing those. And I'm glad that they aren't mentioning what they're doing in specific because of those very obvious reasons they mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think my biggest thing, though, is that hacked APK has been out for over a year. Or around a year, right? Mm-hmm. Since shortly after the game was released. And so if they have known about it for that long and never did anything about it, that's to me kind of problematic.
But that's what I mean. I think that they didn't know. I think it was more of a they didn't know rather than a they didn't care. But I should say they didn't know, therefore they didn't care. They thought it wasn't an issue and it wasn't being hacked. But now that there has been this big of an issue, I think that it's made them aware and that they're going to fix it. But sorry, continue.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I don't know. We'll have to see. Like you said, until recently we've not had much of a communication process. So you're right. Maybe they didn't know because maybe they weren't listening to the community the way they should have because it was known. It's been talked about. So
they were very bad at listening before, that's for sure. So I think that a lot of that was just like wasted on them at the beginning, and so whatever they did find, they didn't really know, or they had bigger issues that they were worrying about. But now that this is an actual issue and there's less on the table for them, yeah, I think that it will be a little more addressed. One thing I did want to mention, if you were done on that front,
on the future.
Yeah. Well, so this is skipping right past it. Are we done with everything that they had mentioned?
No. Let's see. We've got the how can I help and the bug fix.
Okay, I'll wait till after those. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the how can I help? If you want to help, if you find somebody that you believe is using exploits, hacks, or mods, you can submit a report in game or through the website. If you go to the website, you can go to marvelstrikeforce.com/support. Click on the contact button and under issue type, choose reporting. This is a category that we created to track these reports. You include the following: the player name, the player ID, the time and date of the incident, and the reasons for the report, details of incident, and cheating. It's a nice, easy, simple process. I can tell you from personal experience. I got Hebrew nailed for the Dark Dimension cheats he's using.
Watch out! I'm on node 2. I'm coming for you.
You got to node 2 before I'm even halfway through. Got to be cheating. So
true. I would be, and like I said, I would be at 3.5. But yeah.
Well, and I said the reason was I just put because. I said because it's Hebrew, and I want him to feel more pain than just not getting million gold.
And like I said, I'm pretty sure they have something out for me, so I'm sure that they're just like, oh, Hebrew, yeah, I'll go on this joke, flag him.
Right. So and then we got the bug fix. They fixed an issue that was still displaying a player on the Dark Dimension leaderboard. They've been banned. It required manual removal of those players until we could get a fix deployed for that bug. This didn't affect every ban, but we ran into a few of these cases last week. Those players have since been removed from those leaderboards, and we continue to monitor the leaderboards daily for any suspicious results. They wanted to let us know that the focus today is going to be not today, but in this post was solely on cheating and exploits and what they're doing to combat that. So their developer update blog for this week had been moved to next week. So there's some cool stuff coming up in Strikeforce that we're excited to start talking about. But we wanted to focus solely on the bans this week. Apologies to those looking forward to that blog. It will be available on our site next week. So Hebrew, before we kind of go into this, what did you want to talk about?
So I just want to talk about the blog posts in general real quick. I don't know if it's just me, but it seems, and I'm always usually the first one to be like, hey guys, don't freak out because we didn't get a blog post on the same day as last week, because I'm always super annoyed whenever I see that, on Reddit, where it's like, oh, blog post isn't out today, it's a Friday. Like, these guys, they're at it again, they're bad communication. I'm not meaning it like that at all, because like I mentioned, I'm not a big fan of those people. But that being said, I feel like this one and the one before, the Q&A, were kind of lackluster whenever it comes to information that we're getting relative to the previous ones. It always kind of gave us a little bit more of a update in the game rather than like, oh, a little Q&A or the cheating thing. They already answered all of this cheating stuff in an MPO letter. The Q&A seemed a little unnecessary to me. I kind of was looking for more information for what's coming later on. Now, I'm not sure if that's me being selfish and spoiled with all of this new communication that we've been having from them, and every time it being like a little bit of a, this is what's coming in the future, like a little tease. And I'm upset because I'm not getting that little tease. But yeah, either way, I feel like these last two posts have been a little lazy, and I hope that they don't make this a common trend. And I hope that they kind of go back to the, more information about stuff that's coming up in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100% on that. I do feel that while I do believe they needed to address this really felt like an exact copy paste of the MPO response that they had. Yeah. And I'm a little sad because in that MPO response, they said they were going to provide a more detailed response on the blog post, and they're not doing it.
Yeah, it was slightly more detailed, I would say.
Yeah, slightly at best. Yeah. And last week's was, Dark Dimension Live is update, or Dark Dimension, is live, plus there was an update, but it was it's really light. I mean, really light.
So yeah, I guess the past 3 weeks, because it was that, and then the week before was the QA.
Was the QA mailbag, and I'm like, really? I mean, come on, man. So it's really not been, developer update 6, which was September 28th. That really felt like a more in-depth one, talking about Venom and Mystique.
Yeah, that's where I actually felt like it had some real substance to it.
Yeah.
And these ones have just been like, oh shit, like we need to find something to throw at it this week. Like, what can it be? That's what I feel like these past ones have been. So, we'll see what happens. But like I said, I'm not sure if it should me just being spoiled and selfish at this point, or just because that's what I've gotten used to, or if I'm addressing something that is actually happening. But
now, let me ask you an honest question,
okay?
Because you and I have not been doing this together for that long.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many of my previous episodes with Muggin that you listened to from SFTC, we would go on rants on communication. I mean, we would do an entire show rants. So I have a feeling I know where my place has changed. But 6 months ago, would you be calling yourself spoiled and selfish about the communication? Spoiled at their communication?
No, I mean, yeah, we all know what the state of and trust me, if there was any mad at communication, it wasn't me. It was Irish. Irish was like, I'm pretty sure that he was planning on bringing a torch to the offices and burning it down. So he was.
I didn't get a chance to know Irish too much, and I didn't really get a chance to listen to you guys as often as I would have liked.
Mm-hmm.
But but Irish seems like a heck of a guy. I talked to him, having talked privately, and we did the podcast symbol. But it seems like that guy was angry at everything.
He is so he is not a fan of whenever he's slighted, he gets really upset and he starts just like lashing out at everything. And
no,
he's like,
he's
give me back
passionate, man. He's
that's
passionate,
the adult
right?
way of saying that. Yeah. But yeah, like whenever they took his power cords away, which we all didn't like, don't get me wrong. I mean, you remember it was pretty much the period to the end of every sentence was give me back my power cord. Like he did that on our show too. I mean, he was always upset with them. It was hilarious, don't get me wrong. But yeah, it was he was that kind of guy. He was not a fan of their communication.
Yeah. And honestly, none of us were. Muggin and I both went on long rants about it. And so no, but like you, I'm like, man, here we are bitching about the recent communication.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, we need to remember where we came from when we had no communication.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not sure if it's being spoiled now or not, but
yeah, anybody that started the game in the past couple of months, the communication was horrible.
I mean, it was non-existent.
It was non-existent. Yeah. It was absolutely non-existent. So, and let's see what they do. Hopefully, blog updates, dev update 7 is coming out in a week or so, or rather, I should say, the week of October 22nd. So let's see what they put in there.
I have a feeling it's just going to be like a little quick thing about Mystique or something.
If that's the case, and if they don't talk about like the update and go into some details, our dev contact has not contacted me back in a couple of weeks, but I'll definitely be pinging him, going, dude.
Yeah,
dude,
I'll be sending to if that's the case. But you're right, though. Come to think of it, with that new update coming out, and there's already language in game that we could tell from the Datamine.
Right,
discussing it. You're right. Actually, I think it's probably going to go into the new update a little bit more. At least I would hope so.
Yeah. Well,
if not, that's just lazy.
Absolutely, and especially if you think about the fact that if the Datamine is right, and I didn't caveat this. Those data mines are not 100% accurate. We don't guarantee them at all. They are strictly we don't do this work, but it's just strictly data being pulled out of the game currently available. It is subject to change and is not reliable at all. We do not recommend basing your farming strategies off of these data mines, period. All right. Now that I've got that out of the way, for people coming at us with their pitchfork.
Yeah, if something happens where something in the data mine doesn't come true and you put all your resources in it, go talk to Dorian and he will give you back all of what you spent in it in real life money.
And I will also give you your free 8-star Deathlock.
Yeah, that's
all
it.
Right.
All true.
But I would hope that it would have more information because Halloween's coming October 31st. It's just a week and a half away. And if they are doing that trick or
thing. Yeah.
That's gonna now it could be they're just gonna do an in-game mail.
Yeah.
Which isn't on the news update, but I'm gonna bring this to after we get done talking about this. But hopefully they do it there as well as if they do any in-game. So was there anything else you wanted to talk about with the blog post from this week?
No, that pretty much does it for me. Yeah.
Okay. So this wasn't on here. Add it real quick. Did you get in-game mail for a survey?
Yeah, I did.
Did you ever get rewards for that?
So I think I did because I remember getting a 2,000 premium orbs, and I didn't look at what they were from at the time, but I remember just attributing it in my head to oh, that must be the survey thing, because I didn't know what it was from at all, and I stupidly should have looked at the mail, but I just attributed it to that. So I don't know 100%. I think I did. I guess it depends on, has anyone gotten anything else from them for it? Because if people have gotten premium orbs and just not everyone has, then yeah, I got mine. But if someone has gotten something different or no one's gotten them, then obviously that was what it was. I still don't know what it was for then at that point, but yeah.
I don't remember getting the premiums, but I will say that some people on Reddit are saying that they did not get anything, that they have contacted support, and where they've sent screenshots where they've shown that, hey, I got the email, you know, I put in my PID, my player ID, and support's coming back going, oh, sorry, you didn't qualify.
You didn't qualify?
Yeah. That's been on Reddit where basically they're saying,
how did I miss that? I'm on Reddit every day.
Let me see if I can find that link real quick. But yeah, people did not get their survey reports, or they're saying, I was reading this the other day. They were saying they did not get their survey reports, rewards, and that when they reported it, they were basically being told, oh yeah, your player, even though you took the survey, you technically didn't qualify for
right. Well, all right, so let me go ahead.
Survey rewards.
You found it?
Let's see. It does look like it's 2,000 premium orbs.
Yeah, because I actually
was called a gift from customer care.
Yep, I found the mail for that, and so yeah, I have that. So I did get it. I mean, it was a pretty shitty gift, if I'm being honest. Who cares about 2,000 premium orbs? But
unless those 2,000 premium orbs had gotten you Loki.
Yeah, but fragments, I should say, not orbs. If you gave me 2,000 premium orbs, I would be jumping up and down right. But yeah, so this is the thing about these gifts. Even though I got mine, obviously, I'm not surprised in the slightest bit that a lot of people haven't gotten theirs, and that there's this discrepancy. The thing is, the customer support, obviously, there's a disconnect between customer support and actual dev team, right? So I'm sure they're putting in some stupid response that really isn't being okayed by the dev team about that specific thing. I don't know if that's the case or not, but I have a feeling that it's just some weird generic response that the manager over there was just, put this down, you didn't qualify. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because they seem to put some pretty bonehead responses on sometimes. But the bigger thing is that this has been a common problem with gifts from them. We saw this with the Groot thing. It took forever after what they said originally. The what was the thing before? The thing where you had to go to the website for Marvel.
The Marvel thing. Insider, and
yeah, that took forever, and I think people actually ended up getting a little more than what they originally said they were going to give, but it was still 2 months later or something like that, something absurd. Either way, they're terrible at these gifts, and it's dumb.
It is. It really, really is.
There's nothing easier than something like that. You have literally, I mean, even the amount of time that it takes to actually get it from what they say is a large amount of time, larger than what it needs to be. So having it be extended anything even longer than that makes no sense to me whatsoever. This should be very easy to do. And so the response to this is dumb. I'm sure it's just a customer service stupid thing. But as far as them being late on gifts and not giving some people gifts, that doesn't surprise me in the slightest bit. They really need to get their act together on the gifts thing.
Yeah, they really do. So when did you get yours?
Mine says 2 days ago.
Yeah, see, I haven't gotten mine.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's just you really didn't qualify or if it's just them being late on sending some of the people's out, like they're sending it in waves or something.
Maybe
that does not surprise me in the slightest bit.
Yeah, my communications with support have never been great. I've still never heard anything back about the cable Deadpool issue. And there's other bugs that people reported where they're just like, okay, well, thanks, we're going to close this out now. Like, well, with what resolution? I mean,
yeah.
I've worked support desk, man. You don't just close tickets unless you're trying to fudge numbers. That's the only reason why you close tickets without resolution. Is you're trying to show that you're trying to show a quick resolution time because you point to those numbers and you go, look, we resolved these issues because people don't go diving into those tickets. So anyway,
customer support has honestly been very, very good to me so far. Besides this whole Dark Dimension thing right now, where I have to post up a video, it's dumb to me. But either way, beyond that, I didn't have any issues. I was actually very nice, and they've always sent me a lot of free stuff whenever I asked for it. And they've even exploited it to a certain degree where I knew that there were issues, right? That like the gold issue and stuff like that, where forgot whenever the Ant-Man event came back and there was a gold difference.
Right. Oh yeah, I did that.
Yeah, I'm
not gonna lie, I did that.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's a problem. Honestly, this game has taken. I have thrown in, I think, $225 now after this after the Mystique pack. I've thrown in like $225 now, and I have been through the dark days of this game, and let me just tell you what, they owe me. Okay, so if I have to finagle 200,000 gold from them, they can get over it, considering it is nothing to them. So, right. I think I'm well deserved in that area. So, whenever I found out that was a thing, I went and I messaged them. And, of course, I did it so that that gold was actually mine. But I knew that they were planning on putting out a fix for it as well. So I ended up getting like double the gold.
Oh, see, I didn't realize there was a fix coming. But I saw that, or I heard about it. And so I immediately was like, hey, look, I completed this before. Why are these people getting more than me? So,
that was originally that was. Someone had told me that they had put that in. I don't remember. It might have even been Irish, but I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that too, because I didn't realize that was the situation, and I want mine too. And but they had told him in his that there's going to be something put out for other people, and so I was banking on that to happen, and so I could hopefully double up. And whenever they gave me mine, I told everyone else in my Discord at the time, like, hey, go and get this, go do this, because you guys can probably get doubled up on gold. And sure enough, they did.
Yeah. So, if you did the survey and you've not gotten your contact support, if they want to push back on you, then keep trying to escalate.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the best thing I can tell you.
If this is a thing, like, I'm not sure if you will as well, but I'll message our contact and let him know that this is becoming a real issue and try to find out some more information if that's the case. So, let's hope it's not a big issue though, and that they get their shit together soon.
Yeah, they really need to with these prizes, rewards, whatever.
Yes, if you can't handle it, don't do it.
Right.
Like, bottom line.
Yep, absolutely. I agree 100%. Okay, so I removed that item from talking about it later. Star-Lord event's coming back at the end of the week. So on October 26th, Star-Lord will be coming back, and he'll be around a week. How are you looking on Star-Lord, man? Are you going to be able to get him 6 or 7 star, or do you even have him yet?
Oh yeah, I have him. He is still at the bottom of my roster though. That's the thing is, it's tech people fell to the wayside for me because I wasn't leveling up Vision. So
That's a crime, man.
Rocket and Star-Lord, because I can't really optimize them. Don't get me wrong, they're still great without them, especially whenever you couple them with Thanos. But I'm not going to get the optimization that I would if I got Vision, which, like I said, people do not follow my example at all.
No.
Level up your Vision. Okay, don't be like me. Don't have integrity like me.
That's not integrity, man. You and I will have a very long discussion on what is integrity. That is not integrity. That's just dumb. All right. And I'm really debating the wisdom of having you on this podcast. Because somebody's going to take your advice at some point, and I'm going to have to listen to it.
I've preached against it this entire time. I've said nothing but level up. Please level up your Vision, everyone else.
Yes,
I will bear this burden for all of us. Don't you worry.
That's integrity. Okay, saying, "Hey, look, I'm dying on this hill for a dumb reason, so you don't have to follow me." That's integrity.
That's what I mean. Yeah. I have integrity.
All right. Well, you don't have integrity for not leveling up Vision for a dumb reason.
Integrity in my hatred is so pure for Vision that I will see past the obvious benefits of getting him in this game. Then I will not do it.
You're gonna get me off topic again. We're not gonna go there.
I'm on my principles, and don't worry, guys. I got you. I know everyone agrees with me in the entire world, besides you. They all hate
I go
Vision
away for a week, and I come back, and everyone's got delusions of grandeur. All right.
But yeah, I got you. But to answer your main point, though, yeah. So he's not. He's at 6 stars, I believe.
6.
No. Wait, he's at 5 stars.
Okay, I was gonna say, who did you gear up?
Yeah, no, he's at 5 stars. Do you still want to know who I geared up, or
no? Well, are you gonna try to push for 6, or you just whatever?
No, because I'm not using him right now. Okay, I'm not going to. The thing that was, if there was anything that would level up my Vision, it would have been whenever there was in the Datamine we saw like team up events,
right?
For Magneto. There was potential like team up events in order to get Magneto shards or something,
right?
With random characters. Vision was one of them. It's like, oh god, if I don't level up Vision, then that means I'm going to be blocked out from getting Magneto. And luckily, that seems like that is not the case now. That was apparently from one of my sources. I have found out that there's a couple of different things that they were planning on doing, like a couple of different options they were weighing out on how to release him. That was one of the earlier ones that does not seem to be the route that they are going as of right now. It seems to be more of a last time I heard it was I'm saying all this with a lot of caution and know that it is tentative and none of it is fact, and it could change at any moment. But right now the prevailing theory is that it is 5 stars for mutants. So you get 5 stars on your mutants, then you can on 5 mutants, then you can get Magneto unlocked, just like a typical legendary event. So we shall see if that is the case. Hopefully it's not the team ups, or I have to really decide if I want to ever unlock Magneto, I'm going to have to level up Vision. So I have to decide which one I am willing to do. So
we'll see where your principles lie.
Yeah, even if I do, I think it would. I would level him up to the bare minimum, and I would over level everyone else.
That's fair.
Yeah, that is the most I would do. So yeah, I would try to keep him at the lowest possible. All right, continue.
That's all right. For me, I don't think I'm going to get him to star, even though he's in my arena team. Just because, I would have to do Yondu, Stitcher, and Boomer to get him, because I won't have enough to get Rocket. Let's see, Gamora and Drax are both 6 or 7 star, but I would need to get Yondu, Stitcher, and Boomer up 1 more star, and that's just a lot of farming for them. I mean, it would be doable. Yondu and Boomer both need about 70 shards apiece. Let's see, Yondu needs 60, Boomer needs 70. Stitcher, though, needs 140. So
yeah,
that's not an easy farm.
yeah. It's just right now there's
Not in a
not
week.
really. Yeah, oh, definitely not. But even with that, it's just he suffices well. That's the biggest thing, is that there really isn't too much motivation to get these people up to a higher star level, because it doesn't make that much of a difference with the star increases.
Right.
It makes more sense. There's more of a drive for it now just because of Dark Dimension. But even then, beyond very particular team comps, it doesn't make too much sense, because increasing all of those guys to 6 stars versus increasing just your Fury team, for instance, to 6 stars, all of those other people aren't really going to matter whenever you blow through everything with Fury. You know what I mean?
Right.
Granted, that won't be the situation with Fear of the Darkness, because I think that they are taking precautions to specifically kind of block out Fury from doing as well as he is. But
maybe
let me put it. I know for a fact from some communication with them that they drastically undervalued how he was going to be playing out in this, how the Fury team comp was going to play out in this, which surprises the hell out of me, because if you play test it like once with the Fury team, you figure that out in 5 seconds, right? These people aren't doing anything crazy. There isn't some ridiculous strategy that you have to employ with the Fury team, right? It's you walk in with Fury, you do a few things right, you can really get through them. If not perfectly, you can really get through them to like 90%, and then you start the next day and you can get through them like very quickly. Right. So yeah, I mean, I've always called into question if they actually play test their content. I would be incredibly surprised if they didn't, but also I'm surprised if they do, considering what they release things as sometimes. But yeah, I mean, either way, we'll see what happens with that. But with Dark Dimension specifically, or the new Fear of the Darkness, which is coming up for Dark Dimension, we'll see how Fury plays out. But we don't even know if that's going to be limited to 6 stars yet. It might just be Gear 13 limited. They haven't specified.
It could be 7-star and 13.
It could be, yeah. All we know is that right now it does not have a 6 stars required. It only has a Gear Tier 13 required. So we already have that, which is, don't get me wrong, a ridiculous line to have to pass with characters, but it makes sense for the mode. But I mean, it makes sense with the difficulty of the tiers. You don't get anything from what?
So, like, going from 12 to 13, I know going from 11 to 12, you don't get it. You really don't get it.
Oh, are you talking about the stat increases?
Yeah.
That's one of my biggest complaints with this game, is that it is really hard to see benefits of leveling up characters. Like, where is the big payout? I mean, the biggest thing that I feel like kicks in is whenever you make the tier jump, but even then, it's not by an astronomical amount, Like, I always feel like it's relatively comparable. Right. I'm going to do not quite as good with a half geared tier 12 to a just over 13 gear.
Right.
I just feel like there really is nothing that I've seen so far that really makes a big difference. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. At least not from step to step. If you look at someone that's 5-star or 4 stars versus someone that's 7 stars, yeah, you're going to see a gap. But from the one step in between, it's really tough sometimes. Right. But yeah, we'll see what happens with it. Either way, I hope that there aren't any star requirements. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that one. So if I even bother to get into it, because I hate the game. So I just hate it. It's just a dumb game mode. I
disagree with that, but
so that game mode is purely designed, unless you have Fury, throw whatever you have at it. Good luck. That's all there is to it. There's no strategy. There's nothing behind it other than it's a that's the only thing that's for with these rewards at the end. Great. Yay. You're not giving me anything for completing each individual node. Right?
Some gold. Okay. Not enough. But
hold on. No. Okay. Please don't mention the gold, because it's 100k gold.
Right? I know it's almost a bit of an insult. I know.
I'll go farm Nexus 1 and get 100k gold. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, it's I do also agree with that. I wish it was, because I see it as almost, it's like really like 100K gold. Do you value my time a little bit? But
right, and
that being said,
and that's what I got panned for mercilessly, and it angers me the most is because people are now agreeing with me that the per node rewards are non-existent, and that it's really horrible. You know, I mean, look, you can like the mode, that's the game mode, that's fine, but you can't sit here and tell me that it's an enjoyable game mode.
I actually do enjoy it, and I think that. So let me go ahead and put this out there. Like I said from the beginning, I don't care for the gold rewards that much. I think that they should be more, but I'm not horribly offended, realistically. Me saying that it's almost an insult with an exaggeration. I'm not terribly offended. At least I get something. I definitely think that it should be and wish it was more. But the big thing here is the orange gear, and I think that how much stuff we get for it, especially since, and this is more anecdotal because this might not be everyone's experience. In fact, I think that it is not the common experience, but I'm rolling through it with relatively quick. It's been 2 weeks, I think now, and I would be on the third node, probably about halfway through, but I mean, people have already cleared it through, and I think something like that is okay. Like, I don't have a problem with that. I actually like those rewards. As far as the game mode is concerned, I don't know. I kind of like throwing all my characters up against. Okay. So I think that's more of a personal.
Do me a favor. I want you to take the headset off. Right after you hear me out, take the headset off. I want you to go step out. Stand up. I want you to turn face a wall. I want you to lower your head, and I want you to run. Right.
Right.
Now. When you wake up,
right.
I want you to do it again, and then do it again. And then do it again, and tell me how enjoyable that is.
Oh, that's what this is. Besides the comical experience, I don't think that that's a good equivalent, because you're right.
That's exactly what you're doing.
No, we're throwing our team comps at it, but it's for a reason of we're whittling down an enemy team. I don't see what the problem with that is. This is very end game content.
So I am, after 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I still have 4 million to go on the first node.
That is ridiculous. I'm not sure why. I mean,
okay, and
I've been going through it with whatever 6 stars I have. I haven't even.
I don't know if this happens to anybody else, but everybody just starts reviving for no reason. I'll kill somebody, and they just revive. I'm like, what the heck?
Well, that doesn't sound normal. I don't recall anyone in the first node reviving.
I think that happened to me in the first node. I'll have to go back to it. I know it happens to me in raids and me off, and I think it happened to me once in here. It may have just been another noble dropped.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of the same characters.
I mean, it was stupid how like the like a noble heals a noble, he heals a noble, and then they all get something, and I'm just like, this is stupid.
One thing
this is so stupid.
Yeah, one thing you do have to do that I've learned is you have to take out the healers first. Let me tell you, anytime there's a healer, you take them out first, because whenever there starts to become more than one healer, you start to get into trouble quick. And this plays into the strategy portion of it.
What strategy? You don't know who's coming next.
Well, here,
what strategy? You don't know. So I killed somebody. I killed Rocket, and then like 3 more people dropped. And I'm like, what? I'm done. Just whatever.
Here's the thing: is that it's not randomized; it's selected. So whenever you go through, you see who drops. Right? If you're doing badly, or like, oh shoot, you know what? I want to play this differently. Exit out. Your team's there. It'll reset the progress back to where you were right before you entered. So then you go through. I
don't do that stuff. I don't like that. You mentioned like
that sounds like
a
personal
raid
problem,
mode.
then, buddy.
No, you're exploiting the game actually if you do that.
I don't call that an exploit if they make it okay to do it.
Apparently they're not.
You can literally quit out. You can literally quit out. You don't even have to force reset. You can literally quit out. If that's not them putting that in there,
you can go quit and. They heal everybody on your squad back. And you get to use them all 100% again.
So I'm saying this because I personally am so used to force restarting that I always do that regardless. But yeah, I'm pretty sure if I remember correctly when I was watching Casino Stream, he did that himself. And yeah, I was back there. I'm willing to test this out right now.
And ladies and gentlemen, we now know why he's getting flagged for exploits.
Everyone has done. Let me tell you what. Anyone that's at 100% right now has done this. This is not uncommon practice. And
I don't.
Blitz, this has existed in Blitz forever.
I just.
I know you've done this in Blitz before too. So
yeah, I don't do it. I'm not doing it here, so I don't want to. I'm here. I'm talking here. I'm talking here.
So you have principles in this game mode.
No, in this mode because I hate it. It's horrible. It is a dumb game mode. It is horribly dumb. It is the worst game mode I have ever seen in a game.
I completely disagree with you, but you are definitely allowed to have your own opinion. That's
name me a worse game mode.
Blitz.
Okay, Blitz doesn't count.
Why? Because it's accurate.
Okay, so I just lost somebody. I quit.
Mm-hmm.
Going to launch again. Yep. If you quit, you get the whole thing. I guess it just doesn't track progress.
Or maybe they
don't
specifically put in there that you can strategize. It could be possible if they actually legitimately want you to do that, because in this
except
mode,
when 3 people drop and they just wipe your entire team.
Well, that's the thing, though. Is like, so let me give you an example of the time that I actually used this advantageously. So I was at this one part where I was about to kill this guy, and that was the last unit until the next note or the next round dropped, right? And whenever the next round dropped, there was a healer that healed up the guy that was very low that was right next to him. Well, in that case, I decided to go ahead and lower down. I restarted, went back in. I decided to lower down everyone. It wasn't a high amount of damage left on the group of characters that I had before that next wave came in. I lowered down everyone to a very little life, and then I hit the last person and killed them off. That way, whenever they all dropped, I had half the team still pretty much dead, so I can easily pick them off from there. So that's the kind of stuff you can strategize with it. You just have to play it carefully. You have to watch yourself.
It's
just a different form of strategy.
Stupid game mode. It's just a dumb game mode. I'm throwing my phone. It's ridiculously stupid. Look, the game mode is designed
in your
to
opinion,
be stupid.
It is. All right.
I'm gonna look. This is my rant. Okay, that game mode. No, I'm not gonna rant on. I've been ranting on. That game mode is stupid. All right.
Yeah.
I have 900,000 collection power.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't do this game mode. And you're telling me that I've got 900,000 game collection power. And you're telling me this is an in-game mode. Oh, so at 900,000 power, I'm not an in-game player.
How many 6-stars do you have? Because 900k power doesn't tell you too much because it depends on what you invested in.
Let's see. Oh, that's right. That's one thing they need. They need to be able to sort characters. You need to be able to sort your roster.
Yeah.
Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 13. I've got 14 6-star characters. My lowest one is Spider-Man at 14k power.
So let me put it to you like this: I have 10 6-star characters, and I'm making my way through it. I'm chug-a-lucky.
Right. Yeah. This game mode is stupid.
So it sounds like a personal problem all the way around. Like you have an issue with it. You can't get through it.
My teams, because my teams, like this team is 140k power, and it does maybe 300k damage every.
I'm not sure which team you're using, or we don't need to get into the specifics.
Let's see: Deadpool, Wolverine, Gamora, Daredevil, and Luke Cage.
Well, that's actually, I think that is legitimately my second team that goes through.
That team legitimately does 380k power.
Yeah, that one does the least out of my group, and that one I think is only like 130k. But they still are around for a bit, and they knock some stuff down. My first team, which is Captain America, Quake, Yondu, Night Nurse. No, I'm sorry, not Night Nurse. Not Night Nurse yet. I'm about to. Tomorrow I will have her at 6 stars. Spider-Man and Crossbones. They're the people I go through on my A team basically that I sent through there, they last a very long time, and they do work. Like I probably get through, I would say half of so far, about half of the node whenever they go through. Maybe not quite half, maybe a third.
Yeah, this game is just dumb. It's just literally stupid.
You got to play it right. You got to be willing to spend some time into it. But it's a mode that is literally they prefaced it at the beginning. This is something you are not going to run through. This is a long haul mode.
And then people wound up doing it when people wound up doing it in 4 hours.
I agree. Yep. They drastically underestimated Fury, and that was a problem that they admitted to. So, I have as much of an issue with that as you do. I think that they should have prepared for that because that was an obviously OP team. Like I said, I don't think they play test them this time, but supposedly they're taking steps against it in the next one. But either way, even if
good. So instead of 2 weeks to finish a node, it'll take me 4. That'll be awesome.
Well, yeah. So then there you go. Supposedly, like I said, it's supposed to be against Fury specifically. So things that would typically get in the way of Fury comps that wouldn't necessarily get into the way of other comps. I don't know how specific they're getting with it, but that's apparently what they hinted at. That being said, we'll see what happens. Either way,
Skull's just stupid.
We've spent a lot of time on on this mode, which wasn't even the notes. So yeah, we should probably go.
Yeah. Sorry.
You're fun.
It's just so dumb.
You are allowed to have your incorrect for sure.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, he triple taps and he just gives out energy. He's got like 400,000 health. Whatever, man. Just die. I've killed 2 people. I'm at 10 of 10 left on that node.
Mm-hmm.
10 people left on that node. I think I've killed 2 people.
I don't know how
and
honestly, I don't know how you're taking that.
Because it's a stupid game mode. And I just want to throw my phone against the wall. And no, I am hitting it. every day. But I'm only doing like 300K at a time.
Yeah, I've actually missed some days. I think I missed 2 days.
Total. Yeah, it's just a stupid game mode.
But yeah.
All right. Anyway, Star-Lord event comes back on
all the way back to Star-Lord event.
Yep. So, was there anything else that you wanted to discuss before we move on to our patron question?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. Now, just so you know, I did take one item out of the news because we're going to be discussing it in the Patron of the Week section.
Mm-hmm.
So, our Patron of the Week question comes from Evan B. He's been a longtime friend of the podcast, and he's my guild leader. So, I did not go get this question from him. Hebrew did, so that wasn't my decision. So,
he gave me a slew of them too. He
did give you a slew of them
ready to go. Yeah.
So you don't know which one I picked unless you're looking at the show.
I do not.
I just updated it with a different question.
No, I want to be surprised.
Okay, so the question asked, and what we're going to be discussing for this segment is recent discussion of gold isn't the problem hit Reddit and has been discussed in some circles. What's your take? Is gold the problem?
Yeah, I mean, gold is one of the problems, and it is the biggest problem. That is for sure. We have gotten a slight influx, which is so sad that it's still such a huge problem, even with the slight influx that we've had from the Venom raids. But yeah, it is definitely the bottleneck in this game, closely followed by, a gear issue where you can spend legitimately 200 stamina on trying to get one purple gear item, and you don't get it. So that's terrible. And that's something that I feel like does need to be addressed. They need to pick up the rates on some of this stuff. I think it was last week, I spent 500 energy, like all my refreshes, trying to get one thing. I don't recall what it was, but I think I got one of them out of 500 energy. I was like, you are kidding me.
The drop rates are horrible. Yeah, did I not tell you 100 crystals to try to get 2 Punisher shards?
No, but you did mention that, of
course.
Course. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's you're 100% right. Character shards make a little more sense to me, but it's still, I hate it throwing down 100 campaign energy to get nothing multiple days in a row on a character. Right. Kingpin was the worst farm for me ever. I don't know if you guys have ever tried farming Kingpin before, but holy cow, I don't know if it was just me, but man, he dropped maybe 1 out of 6 days, and it was like 2 shards. It was terrible.
No,
But
that's
it was really
some bad anecdotal right there.
And it was very consistent with me, at least. But anyways, yeah, so as far as gold is concerned, yeah, it's definitely the biggest bottleneck in the game. The problem is everyone needs it. At least with gears, there's some diversity in who needs what. But with gold, everyone needs it. It's an absurd cost to upgrade 1 level. I mean, it's I want to say something around 250K for 65 to 66. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah, 250.
Yeah.
And it's like 267 to go from 66 to 67.
Yeah, and see that
280, something like that.
Is that you still don't even see a big increase. Like you level up once, you get a little bit of a stat increase, yet there goes probably 25% of your gold at least. That's if you're maintaining around 1 million, which very few people are, unless you're Chewburger, who pulls off millions of gold at a time like a fucking madman. But yeah, I mean, that's a huge issue in this game. We all require it for every single aspect of the game. Everyone needs it, and there's just not enough of it, especially when prices are inflated as they are. So they need to address the issue. They need to. I thought they did a really good job with the Blitz gold orbs. I think that they should have re-implemented them as a maybe every other instead of the premium orb, the Blitz assault, right, or the orb assault rather. I thought that they were going to do in every other situation. That would have been far better, and it would have made more sense. And it still wouldn't be to the point where it's like, oh, we're swimming in gold. No, I have characters like the Star-Lord event. I got Star-Lord at the first time he came around, right? He is sitting in my roster at the lowest level because I can't upgrade him. And that's not just him. There's lots of people like that, right? From earlier on in the game. And I just don't have the resources to upgrade him. Not whenever I need 1 million gold to get up 3 levels on the top end. It's crazy.
No, I agree. I mean, I see some points of, gold isn't the problem, but I like what you said. It's not the only problem. It's definitely a problem. It's just not the only one. And when you take all these issues together, it really kind of compounds.
Yeah,
and
100%.
That's the problem, is that we've got these compounding issues where you've got to have 260K gold to upgrade from, whatever, 65 to 66. And then if you want to get them up from tier 10 to tier 11, you need 56 ABC as well. And it's just like, oh,
right.
Well, I can go buy 10 of those. Oh, wait, that's 240 gold. 240,000 gold. So it's just, I don't know who designed this economy, but
they didn't know anything about economics.
They really didn't know anything about economics. the price valuations are absolutely horrid. I mean, Don't get me wrong. Some gear should always be harder to get. Some gear I mean, you want to encourage your players to farm, but you don't want them doing this anytime they think about it. Yeah. So that's the problem where we're at. So,
well, especially whenever, catalysts are, I mean, you might be farming the 16 cost catalyst challenge or node rather, but I mean, catalysts are obviously probably definitely the other biggest bottleneck because it's another
the ABC
universal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. It's another universal currency basically because in this game, everyone needs them at some point, right? So, it gets to the point of absurdity on the amount of that is for sure very quickly. And Absolutely. So whenever everyone needs them and there's only one challenge a week that gives them out and very frugally, keep in mind, and then every once in a while you get a hand event that gives you nothing basically in terms of what it actually takes to get one gear piece for it. So you have to throw gold at it. And that takes that feeds the cycle of gold starvation because I'm having to trade my gold for a ridiculous costing material that I'm still not even getting a lot of. So yeah, it's a problem.
Yep, I agree. So Evan, I hope that answered your question, or at least was what you were thinking as well.
We're salty about it, Evan.
Yeah, we're definitely salty about it. Definitely salty about it. So going to move on now, and we're gonna skip the grab bag tonight. We're running long.
Let's do two. Let's do two. You can pick them.
All right, we'll do
Let's
two.
do two.
We'll do two because we're about 3 hours in now, and
holy cow, really?
Yeah, we started around 11:30, and it's 1:30 now. Or I'm sorry, we're 2 hours in. Oh, wait, no, that's not right. What? Hold
2
on.
hours sounds right.
I'm really tired.
You are apparently very tired.
Yeah, and I gotta get up early. So,
but yeah, just do two questions and then we're good.
We'll do two questions. All right. So here's our grab bag. Squirrel Girl. If you could introduce one new status effect to the game to shake up the meta, what would it be?
You take this one first because I'm thinking.
Okay. So
you probably know something from Star Wars, I assume.
Yeah, they actually just added the game, and actually, no, I take that back. Korath already does this, so I was thinking like a force taunt on an opponent. But Korath does that where he can put a taunt on somebody so that you have to focus them.
Yeah.
You know what? There actually is one in Star Wars that I can't, and again, it's tired, and if there is one, please correct me. But in Star Wars, we have Expose. So Expose is a little bit more than like a down, where when you hit them, it does like health percentage based damage.
Oh, I see.
So you could get an Expose on somebody, and then have somebody else hit them, and you'd get your base damage from the attack, and then you would get health percentage based. That's always nice, especially when you're going up against some of the larger health characters or whatever. Expose can be a fun mechanic to play with. Another one is Daze. And what Daze does in Star Wars is you can't counter. You can't get bonus turn meter. It's not a stun, but you don't get like bonus effects. So you can't get extra turn meter. You can't counter. You can't be called to assist. Things of that nature.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like both of those options actually. It would be very, very helpful in the current climate.
Yeah. It really well. I say that thinking I run defenders who counter a lot.
True.
What about you? Any satisfaction you can think of?
So off the top of my head, I would say one which would be pretty important to me, which is, and thank you to someone, I don't remember who right now, so I'm sorry, but they mentioned the other week, I mentioned something about deflect from another question. How I said that I thought it was going to do something that it didn't. And you're right. It is deflect, not reflect. And that is an obvious difference that I don't know why it didn't click in my brain whenever I heard it, because there's a huge difference between one and the other. But for some reason, yeah, I wasn't thinking about that. And yeah, so I think reflect would be a very cool mechanic, because you could really play that strategically with incoming moves that are going to happen, especially against computers, which you can really kind of bet against. You typically always know their rotations, especially if you've done it a few times or played against that comp a few times.
Right.
You know that character. So having reflect and being able to bounce something back at them, or maybe even if it's just percentage damage on a high damage attack, or if it's even the whole spell or the effects, anything like that would be really cool. So I think reflect would be really nice, and would be, I mean, in any meta that would be super useful. But yeah, I think we definitely see it very useful in this meta, particularly right now. Along with that, another thing, and I'm pulling this right out of my ass, I haven't weighed out if this would destroy me or not, but this is something from League of Legends and probably several other games. But so there's a thing called Zanya's Hourglass in League of Legends. It makes you invulnerable for like 2.5 seconds, if I remember correctly, and you can't attack or do anything for that time. But you also can't be attacked. So I think that would be a potentially interesting move if you could basically stasis yourself for the next turn, so that way you can't be attacked, but you also can't attack, or something like that. Or maybe
do special abilities still trigger off, like heals, regens, things of that nature?
Nothing will affect you whenever you're in stasis. But once again, I would be totally fine with them being able to pull some kind of variation of that, whether it be your stasis, quote unquote, for the remainder of the turn. So after you use it until your next turn, you're stasis. Therefore, you can't be harmed during that time. Or it could be something along the lines of, you can only be affected by your team effects or something like that. Some kind of variation of it. There's lots of things you can do with it, but mostly the basis of it is being invulnerable to your enemy for a short amount of time. So
interesting.
I think that would be pretty cool to put in, and obviously incredibly useful. I just hope it never works against me. So yeah, that would be my answer.
All right, so there you got 4 for the price of 2 at that point.
Jason, if you're listening, we got some good ideas over here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah. So let's see. Out of these next, okay, I think this would be an interesting one. So Easy Touch 77 asked, who is the one character you think this game needs the most?
The one character I think this game needs the most?
I know you say.
Let me see here. Starts with a G.
Yeah.
And
got a little bit of it. Got to end with a T.
Yeah. So Gambit is definitely the person that I want in this game for no particular reason other than the fact that he needs to be in this game because he's amazing. He's the Raging Cajun. He needs to be in here. He's got Rogue. If he comes, Rogue's coming. Because we know he's this lady, and she always follows. So let me tell you what, that guarantees another character coming in soon afterwards. He's amazing. I want to see him in this game right now. I don't know if any of you guys have seen the Apocalypse story where he becomes Death. He becomes Death from the Horseman of the Apocalypse. Amazing. You guys need to look it up. I was turned on to it from Spider Guy. Great series. He's the coolest Death iteration that I've ever seen. Dorian's probably going to whip something out that I don't know, and I don't care. But Gambit is the coolest one by far. And he was in the Mutant War. There was even a little cool. This is going way off of what your original question is, but frankly, I don't care. But there was another one where he was going up against a different version of himself from a different universe, and New Sun is what it was called. And he was basically. He was sent back in time. He met New Sun, and then he fought against New Sun, and he had his lobotomy reversed. He had his partial lobotomy reversed. That way he could unlock the full potential of his powers. And he was God mode. We're talking beyond Omega level, could do anything, because that's what New Sun was. He never got the lobotomy or anything like that. So he was just full force Gambit, and he had the ability to basically do anything. Like he could just turn into pure energy. Amazing series. You guys need to look them all up. Gambit's the best thing in this world, and this game needs it. Yeah. The end. What about you?
So don't get me wrong. I like Gambit. I've always felt I like Gambit. I've always felt he was more of an ancillary character. But I will agree that he's really, really awesome. But as for the one character I think the game needs the most,
Does it start with a D?
No. I thought about it, but I decided no. Right. I really, I don't know. I mean, I almost feel like the character's in game, but unfarmable. I really think that we need to be able to get Red Skull.
Oh, you're going okay, yeah. I mean, I don't care that we don't particularly have him now, and I actually want him to be but I mean, I think that in the current cadence it makes sense that he's not out yet, but I think that all of these characters should have been out already a while ago.
And the only reason why I said him specifically was because here we've got Cap, who's considered one of the best in the game, and rightfully so. Yeah. But we don't have his counterpart.
Yeah.
Right, which would be the Red Skull.
Right, his narrative counterpart, yeah.
when I try to think of what's the one character, I'm trying to think of this meta character. I mean, we know Magneto's coming. You know, I could say, you know, Professor X would be one character, but for the one character the game needs the most, I feel like it's got to be somebody that you just go, oh man, how can they not have that character in this game?
Right.
And I don't know. I'm struggling to think of that one character that you know, I would want to see most. I mean, I know who I want to see most. I definitely want Deathlock, but I don't know if he's what this game needs. I'm trying to think of what the game needs, you know?
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
You know, I don't want to go. Oh, you know what? We need the Silver Surfer. This game
Why
needs,
do we need
this game
Surfer?
needs the Silver Surfer. So he's got cosmic power, right? He can do just about anything that he puts his mind to with this cosmic power from Thanos, and it opens up the possibility
from Thanos. You mean Galactus?
Or, I'm sorry, Galactus.
Whoa! Did I just get that right?
You did.
Oh yeah.
it's because it's really, really, really late. But it opens up the Fantastic Four. It opens up the possibility of bringing in Galactus.
Right.
Then you've got Nova, you got Firestorm. I mean, you know, bringing in the Silver Surfer to me links to so many different areas and things that you could do. Plus, he kind of brings Cosmic back into a little bit more relevance. You know, because we are going to be going mutant heavy for at least the next 3 to 4 months. But I'm not a huge fan of that. We're currently going through that in Star Wars, and it's a nightmare. But I like seeing interspersed characters where, you know, maybe you get your mutant today, you know, next week you're going to get this Cosmic and Tech or whatever. But I think, you know, he would definitely be Cosmic and link to so many others, you know, like the Fantastic Four. He could be the 5th member on the Fantastic Four.
Right.
You know, and then, you know, you can bring in villains. So yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question then.
Yeah.
How would you feel about crossover characters from like Star Wars, Disney owned? No, you wouldn't want it.
No,
you think no.
Yeah, this is a Marvel. It's Marvel Strike Force, right? It's a Marvel. I would not.
It could be Marvel Strike Force and Friends.
So they tried that with didn't they do that with some Capcom stuff where they did like Street Fighter versus Marvel? That just made all that stuff. There's some bombs.
Yeah, there's a couple of games. Well, that's not true. It doesn't. I mean, there's lots of crossover games that do incredibly well, but I don't know if this. I agree with you to a point. It would be really fun to see, but I agree it would kind of taint what this game is in a way.
Right. I mean, the game was already a Star Wars clone.
Yeah, like we need a reminder that the other one. Yeah,
yeah.
I gotcha.
So I would not want to.
Right. So, real quick, just because this is a little on topic, why don't we just go ahead and read off Talons real quick?
Yeah. So Talon 788 asks, "Do you want to see holiday themed events in the? If so, how would you want them to work?"
So for me, I think that this is. I mean, we're seeing it right now with the Blitz thing. I'm not sure if you were aware of it or not. We're expecting it to potentially change. I'm not sure, but yeah, we're going to see one. It seems like with the with Halloween with the Blitz system that they're working out. I think that stuff is great. I love it whenever games do things like that. That's one of my favorite things. In League of Legends, they have skins for seasons, or at least they used to. They actually don't really do that anymore. But that was I miss it because I love the season. Whatever the reason for the season is, I love it embedded in play. So yeah, I want to see that kind of stuff. I always want them to do special events, and it always typically leads to more stuff for us. So yeah, I think that it's good that we see that kind of stuff, and it's fun. So
yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I do themed events. I don't know how I would feel about it in this game though. And the reason why I say that is because I try to look at it in context of the game itself, right? Does a holiday themed event make sense? So like in Star Wars, in Galaxy of Heroes, we don't really have holiday themed events. You know, we'll get gifts every once in a while. Like I think for Christmas they call it Life Day, Wookiee Life Day or whatever. But in this world, we're on a planet that's under siege from Ultimus. I mean, do we really have time to sit down for Thanksgiving dinner, right? Do we have time to sit down and there's no Christmas ceasefire. We're not all getting out on Christmas and having a ceasefire to celebrate, or Hanukkah, whatever.
Gotta love Hanukkah. That's another thing. Why we better see a Hanukkah. If we see Christmas,
hey,
there better be a Hanukkah.
What holidays? So then that raises you can honor, right?
Wait. Say that one more time. You kind of cut out on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said, well, that brings up another question.
Mm-hmm.
What holidays are you going to honor?
Well, yeah, I think that they in general don't necessarily do, like, whenever it comes to ones that are a little dicey. Like, I don't think it'll be Christmas. I think it'll be like the winter. You know what I mean? Like, just to kind of encompass everything without getting specific, but we all know what you mean. It's Christmas.
Right.
I think it would be fun though if they actually did throw something out of left field. We got a Kwanzaa or a Hanukkah or something like that. I want, I would like some interesting things like that.
Sure, great. They're fun. They're cute. They're doing the whole Facebook thing for shards. It's not really a holiday themed event. I mean, kind of. I mean, trick or treat. Sure. Nobody likes Ronan Trick. Ha ha ha. Except he's about to get a rework and will probably be OP.
We'll have the last laugh.
Yeah. But in-game events, nah. In some games they work. I don't think in this game or in this type of game they really.
I don't know. I think that what they have planned out from what we've seen so far, I think that this is actually pretty interesting, and I kind of like it. Granted, obviously, this is not an in-game event. Opinionated, but
oh yeah, absolutely.
I think, how is this not an in-game event?
Go to Facebook. Go to Facebook and vote to get free shards.
The Blitz thing. Remember, they're doing the Blitz thing with the alliances.
Oh yeah. I want to see how that's going to be implemented first. And you're absolutely. So they haven't talked about it in 3 weeks.
No, well, they haven't talked about any of this stuff officially yet.
Right. So yeah, we don't even know. We don't know. We don't know if it's going to happen or what it's going to be or how it's going to be. So I'd like to see that. I want to see that and see how they do it first.
That makes sense. Because, yeah, I mean, if it's poorly implemented and it ends up being a problem, because that's not what these things should be. They should be fun. They should be extra. They should be giving us things. But, yeah, I mean, if it ends up being more of a problem than what it's worth, then, yeah, of course we don't want that. So, yeah, you're right. It's best to reserve judgment to see what kind of stuff they come up with first. But that being said, from what I've seen, I like it. And I think that it isn't that hard to implement. Good stuff. Basically, give us free gifts in like a little interesting in-game way. It doesn't take much to have to do.
Yeah, sometimes, like I said, I mean, like I play RPGs that do these types of things, and they can wind up typically just being a nightmare.
Well, I guess for this season that would make sense.
Well, yeah.
Ha 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 ha.
But no, Blitz retreats. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so for Destiny, for instance, like they do stuff like this, and I actually really enjoy it. That's more kind of a like MMO RPG kind of situation,
right? And in the MMO RPG world, I think they're great.
Yeah, World of Warcraft is another good one that does it. Yeah,
I played Neverwinter, Warframe. They all do different things, right?
Right.
But I don't think I've played a mobile video game that does anything like that. So
yeah, I got to be honest. I don't think. Actually, no, that's not true. I have played mobile that have done that, and it seems to be pretty successful. But they are a little different than this. So, do they do it in Star Wars?
No, like I said, they do. They don't do like events. But like they'll give you gifts every once in a while for like the Life Day, which is Christmas.
Okay.
So you get, I think they did that last year. Boy, they haven't done anything else really. They give you like the anniversary of the game gifts or whatever, but they don't do in-game events.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that one. But either way, good question. Good question.
Yeah, I mean, it's easier to do it in a game like this because it has that story to it. Like we're playing a story. Yeah. Everything we're doing is part of a story. And like Star Wars, it's not. You're in a casino at hollow tables is really what that's all. Yeah. So it's a little bit harder to put in a themed event like it would be here. Like, sure, give me a Christmas campaign or a Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever winter campaign.
I'm not actually going to get on your ass if you say Christmas over Hanukkah. Like, where the hell's the Kwanzaa?
But
I would love it though. Sorry, let me just interject one last time. I would love it though if they added in like yarmulkes on every single one of the characters during the Hanukkah. Amazing! Instantly best game ever if that happens. So yeah.
When does Hanukkah run?
It moves around
Christmas, right?
Yeah, but it moves around on the dates. So
right, but typically it's over before Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What I had said was, and I'm glad I verified that before really sounding like an idiot, but was that after Hanukkah was over and they take the yarmulkes off, they switch into Santa cap.
Yeah, no, that would be really cool. You're right. So it for this year it starts on the 2nd. And then it ends on the evening of December 10th. Or December 2nd. I'm not sure if I said December 2nd or just the 2nd, but starts on December 2nd and ends on December 10th. So
okay.
That's for Hanukkah.
Okay. Yeah, so, then they could have a time when, it would have another one or whatever. So, no, that would definitely be cute. But,
yeah,
I could, give us a winter campaign. Get stuff for doing a winter campaign. I mean, you've obviously got events in the game. You can do campaigns. I could see that I'd be okay with. Yeah. That for me is fine. Give me a winter solstice campaign.
Yeah. So like stuff like that. Yeah, I think that would be a really cool way to implement it, even more so than what the Blitz thing. I just don't think they're going to want to put in that much work, which, whatever. If they don't want to, they don't want to. But as long as we get something, in my opinion, as some kind of present, then I'm fine. But yeah, I think that would actually be the coolest way to do it, which is to get a very like its own campaign. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think it'll happen, unfortunately.
No, I agree.
But yeah, I think moving on. I think we should actually skip Mystique because it's just going to be very long. Like we already know that.
It is. So. It is sometimes long. I actually cut down the lore version. I only got in like 6 bullet points today.
Oh, I don't even mean the lore.
But the kit and
going through all
else,
of it.
Yeah,
because it's an intricate kit.
It is an intricate kit.
So let's go ahead and, like you mentioned before the episode, let's go ahead and save it for next week whenever she's officially out.
Okay.
And we'll go over it then. That way, these people don't have to listen to me ramble for another hour.
Makes sense. I don't think I can listen to myself ramble.
Yeah, there you go.
So we're going to move the character spotlight. I'm also going to move the questions. We had a few more questions. So actually, this should be a relatively quick one. So I Am Kroot asks, do you think it would be worth stockpiling premium orbs in case the devs ever decide to release another character Loki, aka what you had talked about for Mystique? Yeah. So please, I'd like to hear from you on that one.
So yeah, I think that's an incredibly good idea. I think that you need to start now. Like I said, I just found out earlier today, in fact, that they are planning, that there is rumor. I have to be careful how I phrase this. There is rumor that there will be a jackpot champion coming up soon. So save your premium orbs. The worst that happens is that you just use them later on. Not a terrible loss for a very big potential gain. So yeah, save them up, I say, and let's see what happens. Let's roll the dice.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that based off of what the rumor. And it's going to be what, a week or so So
I would think so. Yeah.
yeah. So go ahead and start saving those. Would be my advice as well.
Yeah.
So,
don't get mad at me if it doesn't come true, but I'm just saying.
But it's not like you're losing anything. So
exactly. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
just right. It's delayed gratification.
Yeah. Exactly.
So BMZR and Dark, thank you for your questions. We will move these to next week. They're not time sensitive, so I'm just going to add those to next week's show. So with that, we're going to move into everybody's favorite topic and the one that everybody is going to fast forward to. So make sure you definitely get this one in there. But Hebrew, so who you farming, man?
Finally, the big important question of the day. I am farming Kree right now. That's pretty much all I'm farming, and that takes up everything. I'm farming Night Nurse too, but as soon as I get her to 6 stars, which she is 195 out of 200, I'm going to stop with her, and I am going to 100% focus on Kree. I want a 6-star Team Fury. I said that I was going to wait until I got it organically to get Fury, but with how much of a ridiculous advantage it is in this game to have Fury, and I don't see them changing that anytime soon, considering he's just such a good all-around team. I'm tired of always being behind now, what I feel like for not having them. So that being said, with in light of Kree coming out soon, TM, and them being pretty good, they are apparently going to be focusing more on, keep in mind, this is tentative and just rumors, but they're going to be focusing more on executions. So it'll be more of a kind of percentage health that's missing kind of situation. I don't know if any of you guys that are familiar with League of Legends. So yeah, it's going to be more a team that's based on executions, not as much sustain from what I understand, but a very strong team nonetheless. So now that we're getting into that zone, I don't have as much of a qualm leveling up Kree. That being said, I do still have an issue that I'm going to have to be leveling up to extra Kree, because I will be using Korath and Ronin, obviously, whenever that team comes out, because they have specifically stated to me in a question that I asked them a while ago, if they will have synergy, and I quote you, they said they will have strong synergy with their team. So, yeah, just remember that. Now is, I guess, a good time to farm them. They will be coming out once again soon, TM. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, that's something that I'll be farming up for the next forever. And then after that, it's going to be farming Shield forever. So that's what I'm doing the next 6 months.
Well, hey, look at it this way: if you get the Fury, to get the Fury, to get the Shield, to get the Iron Man.
Yep, that's very true. Yeah, it all leads into each other. And then I'm going to need Shield to level up for Hydra or something like that. Something that doesn't make any sense, but somehow they're going to stick their guns to, and then just have to go with it. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm shooting for 6-star Fury on this next go around. I'm gonna probably end up dropping some money whenever the deals go around for them next time. We just got past the last one, and I didn't pick up any of them because I hadn't made this decision yet. But yeah, I'll probably be buying some packs. I'm not going to spend more than, like, I think probably $75 will be my limit on packs. But we'll see what happens. I'm pretty adamant about trying to get a 6-star Fury.
And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that it's a smart decision. I've decided to go all in on defenders, so something that I'm at the doing yet, but
the poor man's Fury, as you put it before.
Yeah, and I mean, really,
it's people.
Look, they
newcomers,
work
everything.
Well.
It's a great team. Level them up. If you are new, level them up. Let me tell you that right now. You will not regret it.
You should be working defenders because you're not getting Fury.
Exactly. Yeah, they're very farmable. They're a great all-around team. Get them. You will not regret it.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that statement. So, is that all your?
That's it. And it's going to be the same answer for the next 6 months. Yep.
Nice. I'm still going to ask every week.
Yeah. What about you? What have you been farming?
My farm is pretty much defenders. I'm gonna get these guys to 6, 7 stars, tier 11, tier 12. I'm going all in. I know that they are, yeah, like we keep joking around the poor man's fury, but I mean, as we spoke earlier, if you're a new player, there's no better team to be farming.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're not a new player, great team to farm.
They're a great team to be farm. I mean, unless they make some radical changes to the alpha raid, they'll. I was getting 9 million damage with my defenders.
Yep, same. Yeah.
So
They destroy.
They do. They've got some great sustain. I mean, you can make an argument that between Punisher and Miss Marvel, depending on what you're doing with them, but you can't go wrong with the core 4.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm farming Groot.
Waiting for that change, huh?
Well, so
I know with your team, he is utilized well because of Rocket, because he's with Rocket and he gets that synergy.
Yeah, so I run them in raid, and that team's is amazing. So it's Star-Lord, Rocket, Thanos, Gamora, and Groot.
Mm-hmm.
And Groot just does some it's not about his heals, it's about his death proofs.
Because it can't be about his heals.
No, it's not about his heals. But when you get Rocket, so Rocket's a bit squishy.
Yeah.
But when you can drop the death proof on him relatively quickly, it's a nice bonus.
Yeah.
So, and when I didn't realize how hard he hits. He hits hard.
Groot?
Yeah.
Yeah, on his basic, he hits like a truck. He's just he's so slow that like you rarely get to do it, it feels like. But yeah, whenever he hits hard.
So, but when you run him with Star-Lord and Rocket, he's assisting. And I'm seeing him hit for like 15k assist.
Yeah, I mean that's why he works better with being on a Guardians comp, especially with Rocket. But by himself, he's one of the few champions that is just totally pretty much unusable outside of their synergy.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. I wouldn't tell anybody to use him because he's a great character anywhere else. It's just use him because if you've got Star-Lord and Rocket, you should really be using Groot.
Or at least give him a try with your team comp, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Because mine's only tier 3. Now he is like, so he is definitely geared up higher than maybe other people would have him. But he's well worth it in my opinion. So
yeah, I agree.
That's really it. Gear, and gear. Yeah,
true. Yeah, I mean, from someone who's also farming defenders, my God, the gear crunch.
Oh yeah, it's horrible. They're all tier 9 and above. I think they're all tier 10 and above.
Yeah, I would imagine. Mine's tier 11, right? On every, besides Luke Cage, who is 10, but he's close to 11.
Yeah, you won't regret that jump to 11, by the way, at all. I mean, his armor he takes some punishment.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about him, as with all tanks, is just that they don't need to be as leveled up to do what they do efficiently.
Right.
Like they're much more skill dependent and stat dependent.
Yes.
That defense up and that taunt and that regen, like they still do it very efficiently from a little bit of a deficit from the rest of your team, relative to the rest of your team.
Yeah. But and his resistance goes up rather well with Jessica. And because my bio's max. For Star Tech. Oh yeah. I run defenders primarily.
Well, max to what you are, right? You're probably
right.
17 or 18, I imagine.
22? No, that
what?
can't be right. Hold on.
No way.
Hold on. I think 22 is our next level that we need. Yeah, we're 19.
Okay, yeah. I think we are 19 as well. Let me check.
Yeah, sorry. Level 22 is where we need to be before I can upgrade again. That's where I was getting the level 22 from. So we are 19 right. My bio is all max. So I'm sitting at 6% bonus for all of them.
Yeah.
My tech, health, damage, and armor are all max.
Yeah.
So
I have. Oh shoot! Shoot! I meant to switch tabs, and I accidentally hit the health for tech.
Oh,
gosh darn it! You know what that means?
Here comes
Vision. Vision just got a little bit of an upgrade. Gosh darn it!
that warms the cockles of my heart. Just
but yeah, bio's maxed out as of right now, and I have a whole bunch in the bank that I'm gonna be throwing down on mutant. I'm not sure why I'm waiting because I just have so much, but I don't use mutant for anything really right now, so I'm debating on if I want to throw it down on a different tab because I'll probably still have enough to level up a good bit of mutant whenever, because I'm doing it for Brotherhood, so I'm gonna go hard on Brotherhood. So we'll see what happens with that, because I'm not sure how long it's going to be until I really get the full force of that Brotherhood, and I can see that investment come to fruition. So,
yeah, I've put mine into Mystic, but that's only because of Thanos.
Yeah.
So it's really been the health and the armor for him. Although I need to upgrade the damage for his AOE bomb heal. But yeah, so I put it into I haven't upgraded the focus and the resistance on my tech, and I really should, especially for vision, trying to clear out those buffs.
Yeah,
but I went more with the health, damage, and armor for tech. Bio gets it all across the board; they're completely across the board. And then for Mystic, I'm doing primarily health and armor.
Right.
So
no, that's a good call.
But yeah, so that's who we've been working on this week. Hebrew, before we head out, is there anything else you want to mention?
Not too much. Just thank you guys for sticking around for such a long time. Don't remember. Please remember that we are doing timestamps now as well. So whenever you listen back to this episode, if you want to re-listen to a particular portion, and for all episodes moving forward, I am going to be putting those timestamps on. They are a bit of a pain to do, so appreciate me. but yeah, it's other than that, thank you guys. Thank you very much to our patrons. We really appreciate it. This was a weird week because we got off on schedule, which hasn't happened for either of us ever before. I don't think.
Nope, never.
So yeah, this was just an off week. It even threw us off whenever we were trying to figure out what time to do it tonight, because once you're so used to scheduling it for one day, moving it to another day really can throw off your weekend quickly. So
yes.
So either way, we got it done, but we will be back to our normal live schedule on this upcoming Friday. So please don't forget. Thank all of you guys, and especially our patrons, and we hope to see you guys again next week.
Yeah, absolutely. If you'd like to contact us, you can do so through email at theravagerreport@gmail.com. If you do like what you hear and would like to support us, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/Ravager Report. We are on Twitter at Ravager Repo. You can find us on iTunes and Podbean, and really just about any standard podcast apps are going to search iTunes. So please subscribe and like and leave us a review. Let us know what you think. You can join us on our Discord, where we're in constant communication with everybody. It's discord.me/Ravager Report. You can also leave us comments and feedback there and let us know what you like about the show, what you don't like, and what you think we should do going forward.
Yeah. Or just chill and hang out.
We got a whole lot of... So, I apologize for the kind of lazy outro. It's 2:00 in the morning right now, so I can't think of anything else. So, wow, until next week, keep fighting, true believers.